Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Come in life from fire, your heart, children of God. I just wanted to go over a few things. I will probably forget because I didn't write them down. So let's just try that real quick before I get off track. As a pastor, Hildebrandt. It's through the Church of God. I sometimes when I look things up, I have a hard time finding stuff. I've always had a soft heart, or like a soft spot, or what's the word? Like a special little sweet feeling for those little groups that wear bonnets and their little uniforms. But I know usually underneath there's something haywire. I have visited cults before, being it I knew it or not, and then I would actually end up reporting them. I never had the proper covering. I used to report him to this one guy. I don't know if he still does that work, but I don't know if he started to just get where he was just turning everyone in, every single church, every single. So that was when we got the weird call and stuff or text from the neighbor when he fully did whatever he did to screw up our flow of our well. So we're going to focus this weekend on doing our drilling a new spot, because now we've come into trouble with two of the containers. With obviously what can happen is the the green mold or whatever from the sun, and it hits the water in the contained area. We did the water test on the stuff we're hauling in. I'm not understanding this particular water test unless John ordered this one and then we're going about it a different way, because this one is showing a high level of coliform, meaning the ones we're hauling in from the stations. So I sometimes will come on and I'll be like, oh geez, they did end up being a cult. And I do have a funny story about that with my husband. He's like, I think it's some kind of like a roundabout, like maybe you do know, but you just still love them and you're just curious. The curious cat, meow. And, but I'm not looking for trouble. Like I love the 12 tribes theme. I don't know if that cult's still up and running. Some of these cults, though, this is serious. They have a lot of money. They have a lot of protection. And they can just take, I'm just laughing about it, and they can take and shift their church or their community to another locale, and they'll keep dodging stuff. I'm very disappointed about the Church of God. We drove all the way down there in Easter. That's what it gave extra time to our fun guy, and to see the one church in Ohio, to kind of get a feel about it. And quite frankly, driving up on the property, I was already getting my ooh, I don't know, Lulu. You know what I mean? But we had no idea they were under. There's been other things. I don't know if this is because it's a Canadian church, one of them, the Hildebrandt group, or that they just have the ability to really keep the accusations suppressed, because we saw what sort of money must be going on at that particular church down in the southwest region of Ohio. Now, I'm not saying that all of them, okay, well, let's just do this. It's the same with the Amish and all the other groups, is you can't just say they're all abusive on high levels, but unfortunately as more victims come out and get rescued, I have been known to, when we visited 12 tribes, I tried to keep contact with some of the victims. They then refused them to keep contact with me. I don't know if they were able to escape. That one is a New York group we visited. I went out and visited first, and then we only stayed for, I don't think we can make it a week, because every time I talk about food, it's kind of embarrassing. I was a lot more slender then. I wasn't drinking and whatnot, and that was disturbing. That particular group and many others, I ended up finding out. Most are like, well, wouldn't you just research before you just go visit? Well, I mean, that's not very fun, because then I'm not maybe doing what I'm supposed to do with Jesus, or I want to see it, experience it myself before I just say, oh, well, Tom, Dick, and Harry said that, Pastor Hildebrandt's group whips children with straps and sticks. I really hope the stuff I did find was wrong. Now, if the church had been open that day, but we got there and it was ghost town, nobody was there. Couldn't find nothing online. We had just looked up. It said something about an Easter gathering, or what. I mean, maybe we didn't look hard enough, or maybe we had accidentally looked up one of the other churches. We were going to be ungodly late anyways, and from the looks and the energy of the atmosphere, they probably wouldn't have even let us in, even if we were like, look, our GPS was wrong. We drove over 3 hours to get here. And they might have just not let us in. It might have been one of those. I visited those before too. And it's funny, that was a small church of God. When I used to go around doing research on churches when I was young, when I got saved, and I would go to the most obscure small ones and have a visit. And there was some that were really, really odd. And that one, technically in Cleveland, was a church of God. I remember that now. I doubt it's not the same sect. It wouldn't be the same group, I don't believe. That one was where they had, I don't know if they had the multiple wives going, but it was more that the wife looked of questionable age, and then there was like a slew of children, and the guy was super old. And that's fine. That's fine. Okay, we don't need to like get into all that, but so this is a long skit to say, or a long spiel to say, yeah, it's looking rough, and I guess the part that's bothering me is why when I was trying to research them, I couldn't find squat. So, but see, Canada's so messed up right now that, I mean, but once I see something like, it's this lady's testimony, I figure that was oppressed too. So see, this organization has enough power, they can suppress, they can get apparently testimonies of people that escaped not as available as it should be. And her story was really upsetting. She was there 8 years. I'm not going to say her name right now. I don't remember her name anyways. I don't remember her name. And but I do, honestly, I've been watching them long enough on and off that I remember seeing her in some of the old videos. So I much like check out. No, I get upset. I get like really sad. And for a moment, my morning was occupied with what the F and the whips and sticks, or excuse me, straps and sticks for the kids. And this lady said that they had to, you could not, no movies, no TV, no internet, bunch of other restrictions. I'm disgusted. I'm gonna be quite honest right now. I am very disgusted. And I can't even, I've posted so many of their videos. Although I think sometimes I did say like, please understand I'm questioning if they're all right. And they, oh my goodness. I actually think that there's this black gay man that went in as like an informant to kind of get, like, I don't think they could get this guy shut down. Or they might have just left. See, they'll just leave because those groups like that, because they just, I guess they like to whip children. I just don't guys, we're not going to get any better if this stuff doesn't get... Just fucking sitting around is like Hold on, I'm gonna do one real quick for myself here. I mean, my upbringing, they did more creative things, which is like, just imagine like a little toddler just whipping its hand. They use those small hickory sticks at 12 Tribes, but I don't know, they just sit there and whack the hand. They did that there too. They wouldn't let the kids. I said, let's take the kids into the library, and the one girl, this was at 12 Tribes in New York, because I had brought Jess for a few days. Woo! And so I'm like, let's go to the library, and they're like, oh, we have our own library. We don't go to the public because it's Satan's playground or something. Well, now they got pervert, ex-convict, transgenders bouncing children on their knees. Now, I didn't straighten up long enough, and even if I had, it had been done to me in some other capacity, but, what is going on? How are we going to get anything better? How, if we've got this extreme over here, and then we got the cult still running around loving to whip children and oppress people, and she said that you'd have to make an appointment with one of the deacons or leaders, the men, and then you could go on the internet or computer, and then you would be guided through. You were only allowed. She said they would do this thing where they would more or less shame you, who knows what the offense was. I mean, but then she said they would also, it was a regular dose of it. She stated mostly emotional abuse, but if the kids are having regimented whippings, which was it or not, I don't know, but is what? They want to put Whitmer, it just came up. They want to put Whitmer in place of Biden. Oh my God. They aren't gonna let Kennedy in, are they? Or they're gonna, God, I hope not. Do you know they still won't give him his Secret Services protection? I know, this is uplifting. Sorry, that's not what this show is fully about. And no, I can't, because of when Hip did the flying, he was gonna fly from the back all the way out the truck door, and then I caught him and slammed yeah. And what it was, I still have this, because I think they're getting into stuff, and then I'm getting just the slightest, some sort of the thing that I can get a reaction to outside, is, what are we going to do? So many of these churches are being exposed, and that's good, because there's been a lot of sexual harassment under the radar, and I'll be the first to admit, when I first got saved, I had 2 to 4 or more back-to-back incidences that shoved me back out of the church, and I would relapse. Now, I'm not blaming them for that, but I was already dealing with the childhood sexual abuse and all of that, and the psychotic mother, and that's been under the radar for 80 some years, and the father, and the brother, and the sister who just had to escape, and I was always glad she did, is I don't know. Someone would say you gotta think more positive. Maybe that's not how God made me. I try. I really don't think that I don't try, and I try to be encouraging. I try to say fight through. But when all the arrows and the oh my gosh, I can't even remember what that is. God, if you guys saw me after what they did to me at U of M, all the signs and the arrows and whatever pointing towards everything shitty, because it is, and then the water and that's literally the prophecy of the chief, the famous saying about, yeah. everything's connected. And then the one about, you know, wait until all the water and everything is poisoned and you find out you can't eat money. I don't remember who said that, but... So I wanted to believe the funny little cult-like, but maybe it wasn't fully cult. Church of God was alright, but she said she was there 8 years, and I think she's still having to get mental help. She said then they would do this, I'll just call it love bombing. So they would do a lot of like shame-based ostracization, like verbal shaming, and then I don't even think she could get into the children. She said they just had them also scared to death of hell, and they get the strap or the stick or whatever. So that's great. So glad I sat through that many sermons. But that's okay, because maybe I helped someone. And that's what I was trying to say, is some of the cults I visited, I think I did help some people. And not that that matters, but I never really thought about it because I was being degraded and insulted at home, or judged and mocked and ridiculed by my family for why I keep visiting cults. Well, because, see, cult owners, they only want their one cult, and that was the family cult, and I refused to follow the cult there. I just like to visit them. I don't know why. I guess so that I can see what exactly is going on, and we all have what we like to do, and that's where we are right now, is 16 minutes of what are we doing right now. Well, we really want RFK to win, and I'm supposed to meet up and do a little bit of volunteering. I wish I hadn't been so slow to the draw here, is why I didn't jump on the wagon sooner to help. But now I can, judge myself for that too. I really hope there's a turnaround. I really do. It seems like we're having to nosedive so far because everything was just left to run amok for so long in the most corrupt fashions, and the right people were not being protected at all in any region of this planet in a proper format. That this is kind of what we get. And I don't mean to sound like some sort of old Irish curse language. That's not what I'm trying to say. It's that if we know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. If you have a wound and it's not healing right, starts changing colors, then all of a sudden you can't use your hand because your wound is looking weird, but you're going to ignore it and pretend it's going to go away. How does that work out normally? Not well. I gotta go. Have a good one. Bye.